now to the Conservative MP for the Don Valley, Nick Fletcher, who says Channel 4 should be ashamed for its child trans storyline. Good to have you with us. So what are the big areas of concern on this one, Nick? Why is this bothering you?
Well, I think there's nothing worse than misleading our young people. And I think affirming a boy can be a girl and a girl can be a boy is probably the worst examples that we've got of misleading young people. And I think it's an appalling storyline, and I don't think it should be aired.
Well, what about those kids, and there are many trans people around as adults today who will say, look, when I was 10, 11, 12, that's when I began to have a very compelling and knowing feeling that something was wrong. I didn't feel like my birth gender, and all sorts of reasons behind that. If only there was help for me back then, I wouldn't have gone through years of turmoil, potentially on the brink of suicide and goodness knows what. Thank goodness today we can tell these stories without being ashamed of telling these stories. That would be, I suppose, I'm guessing here, but that would probably be the answer most people would throw your way in response to what you said.
Oh, and there's no good outcome here at all. I mean, I don't believe anybody is born in the wrong body. I understand there'll be people who do suffer believing they are, but I don't believe they have been born in the wrong body. You are born a boy or you are born a girl, and it's been like that for millennia. The other thing that we've got to look at is what is the outcome? What is the outcomes for these people? I mean, do we want puberty blockers on 12 years old? Do we want hormone replacements, which basically is giving chemical castration? Do we want healthy bodily parts being removed? Do we want a lifetime of surgery? Do we want a lifetime of misery? Is this what we want for our young people? It's not what I think we should be doing for our young people.
But of course, I mean, I hear what you're saying, Nick, but none of that you can have at that age. As an adult, you can consider taking things to another level or another step. But at the moment, certainly in this country, as 12-year-olds can't have any of that stuff.
They're putting them on a pathway in confusion of their future. And unfortunately, we're showing this now. And what we have to remember is back in 1994, there was 12 young people supposedly who were struggling with this. And now we have thousands and thousands of young people coming forward with this. And it's causing absolute mayhem in families. It's causing mayhem within our schools. It's causing issues across the entire society. And it's not fact-based. It's not science-based.
So what do
biological sex is immutable, and we shouldn't be putting it on our screens for our young people to see.
Listen, I share a lot of the confusion that I think most people do. And, of course, you are biologically, your chromosomes and all the rest of it, no matter what you do, will always reveal your birth gender. That bit can't be changed. But it's argued that that's not the only thing at play here. Psychologically, if nothing else, and that's not a bolt-on or an added extra to this debate, it's crucial. If you feel that you are not the person that you were born as in terms of gender, what is wrong with somebody deciding that everything about me feels female? The law at some stage allows me to declare that. My driving licence, my passport will reflect my new gender. So whatever I've got going on downstairs, whatever the chromosome test will reveal, I feel like a woman, I act like a woman, I want to be seen as a woman, I know that I wasn't born one, blah, blah, blah. But is it such a medical leap for you and others to understand that that could happen to a small percentage of people?
It's what else it creates within society. And you say these things are not happening to our young people. There is evidence there of young people who are taking puberty blockers. There is evidence of people being on hormone replacements. And we've got stores selling chest binders to young girls. I mean, this is just a sick world that we're living in. Children should be children. And unfortunately, we're trying to normalise and sexualise our young children far, far too early. I mean, some of the information that we've seen that's actually being given in RSHE lessons within schools, it's just putting ideas into young minds. Now, after 18 years old, if people are still struggling with this, then we need to, as a society, look at it and see what happens. But if this means biological males going into women's changing rooms, if this means biological males winning in ladies' sports, then we've actually got to ask ourselves as a society, is that right? Or are we just eradicating women from society? I mean, the other day I was speaking ICB was talking of birthing people. I mean, we're just eradicating women from terminology and from society, and it's just not fair. And starting with a storyline like this will no doubt put ideas into young people's minds, and we should not be doing it. And I believe it's completely and utterly irresponsible.
Would you like Channel 4 to pull this storyline?
Yes, I would.
And have they responded to your request to do something like that?
Not yet. No, I only heard about this yesterday, and I'll be working on this. In fact, I'll be speaking to ministers next week if I'm able to. I think this is extremely dangerous. How can we have 12 young people in 1994, and now we have, I think it's in the region around about 8,000 of boys wanted to be? It was just completely unheard of. Unfortunately, this is a social transitionings happening with these people and with these young people. We've got to be extremely careful with these young people. They're obviously in a state where we do need to help them, but affirming that they are born in the wrong body is not what we should be doing.
All right, Nick, thank you for your time. We appreciate that. That's Nick Fletcher, Conservative MP, who's really not very happy at all about that particular storyline. Let me give you the statement from Channel 4. They told us this is an important and timely storyline that will be of interest to many of our viewers, and we are committed to telling it sensitively and responsibly. Hollyoaks has a well-established reputation for telling authentic and emotional stories involving complicated family relationships and for tackling difficult and sensitive areas. In dealing with such issues, the show consults with relevant experts and carries out thorough research, as is the case with Rose's story, which will be evident to audiences as they watch the full story play out.